Yes to spirituality, no to the institution. The search for the reality of the unseen world. 5. Abdel-Moumin Ahmed. Although the modern mind was so captivated by the achievements of science that it distanced itself from religion and spirituality during the formative period of modernity, today, in the postmodern era, we are witnessing a broad spiritual awakening spreading throughout advanced societies. Its defining slogan is, "Yes to spirituality, no to the institution." This rejection is directed not only at religious institutions but may eventually extend to certain scientific and educational institutions that have themselves become dogmatic, resisting every attempt to introduce a new paradigm of knowledge. Yet the spirituality meant here is not a departure from religion. Rather, it is the revival of personal spiritual experience, enabling every individual to receive some measure of insight from the unseen dimension within a framework that harmonizes personal experience with religious guidance. Such a renewal can only be achieved through a fresh reading of the entire body of sacred scripture, a new understanding of humanity's religious experience throughout history, and a renewed interpretation of existence itself. Out of this integration may emerge a universal spirituality that provides common ground upon which people of different religions and cultures can meet. History offers two striking examples of profound spiritual transformation: the emergence of Jesus Christ 2,000 years ago and the present age, which is witnessing equally significant intellectual and spiritual change. Although history never repeats itself literally, it often reproduces its underlying patterns and laws in new forms. What we are experiencing today may well be the beginning of a civilizational and spiritual transformation comparable in significance to that which accompanied the dawn of the Christian era. Following the Industrial Revolution, which itself emerged from the Enlightenment and the Protestant Reformation, and the extraordinary scientific advances that reshaped the modern world, we may reasonably anticipate that humanity is approaching another great intellectual revolution, this time in the spiritual realm. This coming revolution is likely to encourage a more personal and individual faith while diminishing the dominance of institutional authority. It will be grounded in the scientific study of human consciousness, the nature of the human soul, and the remarkable capacities of the human mind, allowing spirituality to develop in harmony with religion and the sciences, particularly psychology. At the same time, rapid advances in quantum physics, particle physics, the Internet, and artificial intelligence, which increasingly mirror aspects of the functioning of the human brain, suggest that humanity is becoming better equipped than ever to explore the hidden dimensions of existence. We may indeed be standing on the threshold of an even more astonishing stage in our understanding of the invisible worlds. Modernity was founded upon material enlightenment. The postmodern age, however, in my view, cannot flourish except through a spiritual enlightenment grounded in faith. Such an enlightenment would constitute a spiritual, cultural, intellectual, and religious revolution that unites renewal with reform and lays the foundation for a new philosophy that restores the spiritual dimension to its rightful place in human life. Such a transformation could also move the religious enterprise beyond its inherited doctrinal divisions toward a more objective and integrated framework of knowledge, one that brings together experience, reason, and faith. It would draw upon the legal and ethical heritage of the Abrahamic scriptures, represented in the Mosaic and Mohammedan laws, while embracing the wisdom and higher purposes emphasized by Jesus Christ, viewing them as complementary stages in the progressive unfolding of divine religion and the fulfillment of its ultimate aims. This vision, however, raises three fundamental questions. The existential question: why do we need spiritual knowledge in the age of modern science? The epistemological question: how can spiritual knowledge be established on a sound scientific foundation? What are its sources and its basic principles? The methodological question: how can spirituality become a legitimate subject of objective research and scholarly investigation? The answers to these questions begin with acknowledging that existence possesses a universal spiritual dimension and that every human being has an individual spiritual constitution. Discovering this dimension, or even recognizing the possibility of its existence, opens new horizons for understanding reality and enables us to move beyond the limitations of a purely materialistic worldview. Even if one sets aside the question of proving the existence of the spiritual world, consciousness, conscience, human emotions such as joy, sorrow, and suffering, and countless other abstract realities cannot be fully reduced to biological processes or material mechanisms alone. Understanding these phenomena within a broader framework that includes the spiritual dimension helps liberate humanity from existential anxiety and psychological confinement, while reducing the dominance of the materialistic outlook that has shaped contemporary civilization. This study is therefore offered as a contribution toward the development of a renewed religious philosophy founded upon the universality and scientific legitimacy of spiritual truth. Any global spiritual vision capable of speaking meaningfully to postmodern humanity must rest upon three interconnected principles. 1. God, 1 Truth, 1 Humanity. Despite its conflicts and divisions, the world is steadily moving toward greater interconnectedness and unity. No universal spiritual project can succeed unless it reflects this emerging reality. This is the direction that the present study seeks to affirm. Through my reflection on the development of both religious and human thought, I have come to the conclusion that the path toward a faith capable of guiding and saving humanity lies in establishing a new intellectual paradigm that integrates science, philosophy, and religion. Such a paradigm could become the starting point for a new era of universal spirituality, offering humanity a religious vision founded upon reason, faith, and experience, while remaining firmly rooted in the religious heritage, not by abandoning it, but by interpreting it in a more comprehensive and profound manner.